Thanks, Randy. Good morning. So about 4.5 years ago, Sunny Hills got involved with the Oasis After School program, and we got introduced to what's going on down in the town of Vicente Guerrero, down in Baja California. And you have responded very, very well in so many generous ways. Many of you have been down there on trips, and we've built things and made blankets and made friendships and done all sorts of neat stuff. And it's really been a blessing for Sunny Hills to be engaged with the Oasis After School program. Yesterday we had our annual meeting here at Sunny Hills. So we had folks from Tennessee and Indiana and North Carolina and Baja, Mexico, drive up here and fly in, and we met and really talked about what we're going to do going into this next year to keep building this ministry and keep growing it. And it's growing. There's many exciting things that Carly is going to share with you in a minute, and it's very exciting to see God's hand at work in this ministry. We are now partnering up with the Hilltop Church of Christ in El Segundo. There's been many connections that are starting to form there, and we're connecting with the Mission Viejo Church of Christ down in Mission Viejo. There's a connection there with Ed Bush, and he was connected to Donnie previously, and there's this whole fabric of relationships and things that are happening, and you can just see God's fingerprints on it and bringing things together. So that being said, Carly Dallas Heredia now is here to join us. I'll steal a little bit of her thunder. Carly got married last May, and her and David are here. Please take a minute to say hi to David and welcome him to Sunny Hills. And Carly has some more exciting news. I'll let her share that with you. Family news for her. And with that being said, Carly, why don't you come up and give us an update on what's happening at the Oasis After School program? Just to give the elders that are present a heads up, when Carly's done with the presentation, I'd like to have the elders come up and pray over Carly and the program. So give you a little bit of preparation time. Thanks.
Actually, first we're going to show a video, and then I'm going to speak. So the video can go ahead and play.
The Oasis program continues to provide a safe and fun environment after school for over 180 kids in 2 different places, Vicente Guerrero and Las Aves. We provide tutoring and special classes for the kids, including Bible, English, and computer classes. The kids also receive a meal or healthy snack, as well as school supplies, prizes, mentoring, and fun activities like crafts, games, sports, and parties. The program is now in its 7th year and keeps on growing. Every year we have more kids enrolled in the program and more staff, visitors, and volunteers.
Soy Juan, tengo 10 años. Llevo aquí 12 o 10, no sé.
Me gusta más el Oasis, me gusta coloquiar y me gusta leer. Mi nombre es Melissa y lo que me gusta más de jugar en Oasis es jugar con mi prima. Me llamo Laura García Martínez, tengo 7 años y me gusta pintar.
Yo estoy Ollita y tengo 8 años y lo que más me gusta en Oasis es jugar fútbol.
Hello, my name is Joel. I like eating.
Hola, me llamo Gabriela, tengo 9 años. Lo que más me gusta del Oasis es aprender inglés, matemáticas y español.
Hi, my name is Jacob. I am 8 years old and My favorite place about Oasis is we play here a lot.
Yo me llamo Jesús Antonio Bautista Tomás y tengo 10 años y me gusta más de Oasis, me gusta estudiar.
Hola, me llamo Eliseo, tengo 7 años y me gusta aprender a dibujar. Y lo que más me gusta es Sanku.
Hola, me llamo Jesús Eduardo, tengo 10 años y lo que más me gusta de Oasis es convivir con mis compañeros.
Hola, me llamo Darwin, tengo 10 años y lo que más me gusta de Oasis es jugar al básquetbol con mis amigos.
Me llamo Maribel, tengo 7 años y lo que me gusta de aquí es aprender inglés. Gracias.
Hi, my name is Myra. I am an Oasis teacher. I teach English to the kids here. I've been here since August and I really enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Reagan Sadate. I've been working at Oasis for 6 years. I'm a teacher and as well I help manage Oasis Las Aves.
Yo me llamo Andrea, tengo 18 años, yo trabajo en Oasis, enseño a niños de tercero y cuarto grado.
Hola, mi nombre es Hilda, llevo trabajando desde que inició Oasis Las Aves. Es un orgullo trabajar en esta organización porque podemos ayudar a niños.
This year, we continued construction on the new building in Las Aves and are almost finished. We are excited to have this facility and to use it to reach more families in need. We want to thank all of our supporters for their generosity and willingness to give so that we can serve the kids in our community. Thank you for being a part of the Oasis School Program.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias por su apoyo.
Muchas gracias por su apoyo.
Gracias por su apoyo.
Y muchas gracias que ustedes me ayudaron en Oasis.
Muchas gracias por apoyarnos.
Thank you very much for helping us.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias por su ayuda y su apoyo.
And we're just so thankful.
Thank you so much for your support.
I just wanted to thank you guys for all your help and your support.
For more information about our program, our needs, and how to help, contact us via email at oasisinbaja@gmail.com.
Aren't they adorable? Well, as always, it's really great to be here at Sunny Hills. Every time I come here, I know more and more of you. And not only has Oasis been blessed by this congregation, but this congregation has blessed my personal life. James mentioned I got married in May, and Steve Nieto was the MC at my wedding, which was very funny and exciting. So people at this church, a lot of you have been down there now. I wanted to see a quick show of hands. How many of you have actually been to Oasis? Okay. How many of you have heard James talk about Oasis? That's what I thought. Okay, so you can see how James has really been great in terms of connecting this church with our program and connecting your skills and resources with our needs. And that's huge because we really needed that. For a very long time, Oasis was primarily supported by people on the East Coast who were very far away and very busy. And James mentioned about 4 years ago, I met him sort of randomly on a fishing trip when he was down there, and my life has never been the same since then. So we have our moments, but it's been a good relationship, and James has been a huge blessing to me and to the Oasis program, and a lot of that you can see in that video. The kids love it, and we've experienced a lot of growth since Sunny Hills has been involved, and a lot of that is directly due to you guys and your support. So I would just really want to say thank you to begin. So I'll give a quick update on what's been happening since the last time I came here. You could go to the next slide. That's the video playing.
The Oasis program continues
Okay.
to...
Our mission statement is Oasis partners with communities to create hope and opportunity for children and their families by providing education, mentoring, nutrition, and love. So a lot of that you saw in the video. We're primarily focused on education. So after school, the kids come to us and receive help with their homework and tutoring. A lot of what we do is more related to parenting and mentoring. We have now, because we're in our 7th year, have established some long-term relationships with these kids and their families. That's where we really start seeing the change and we start seeing the growth in those kids and in their families. And nutrition, the kids eat every day that they come to the program. They get a really nice meal, and they love coming. And our teachers love on the kids love being with our teachers, and it's a really happy, special place. And a lot of that is, it sounds great, and it's like, okay, that's all nice, but why is that so significant? You really have to understand the neighborhood that Oasis is in to understand why Oasis is such a nice place. There are not places like Oasis where we live down there. The neighborhood is notoriously bad and has a lot of drug influence, a lot of little gangs and violence, and it's a neighborhood that's just struggling. Satan has its hold on that community, and that's exactly why we're there. So it's good that we're there. It has a lot of challenges, but the darkness around Oasis makes Oasis really, really shine, and that's huge. Next slide. Just a quick overview of the program. That's what I was mentioning just now. The fact that we just provide a safe Christian environment is really a big deal there. The kids, a lot of them are never around Christian influences or strong Christian examples in their lives. This is the 7th year of the program, so we started in 2011, and very small and grew very quickly. Now we have, between our 2 locations, 180 kids total that are in the program the whole year. Those kids stay in the program all year, roll over to the next year, and we don't have a lot of kids who quit coming, so there's not a lot of turnaround. I have a wait list of kids who want to be in the program, but it's not very often that we can fit a lot of them in. So it's good that we stick with this group, and we've been seeing them grow up over time. A lot of them are teenagers now and have different needs, and we're adapting and developing to them. We have the 2 locations now, and the opening of the Las Aves program was provided. We were able to do that based on contributions from this church. So we had people coming to us wanting us to open a second program, and we kept saying, well, we don't have the funds right now to do that or the staff. And Sunny Hills stepped in and said, well, what if we provided that funding? And I said, well, then I can make it happen. And we made it happen. So now there's 2 locations and 24 total people who work in the Oasis program or volunteer. And now that we've had more than 5 years that we've been with these kids, we've really started seeing the shift, some of the results of the program, that kids are actually staying in school longer than other children who are not in the program. And there's less kids dropping out of school, and the kids are getting better grades. They're doing better in school. And the dropout rate in our town where we live, a lot of kids drop out in 7th grade. Their high school is not part of the mandatory school program, so high school is more like a junior college there. And a lot of people will finish elementary school, do 1 year of middle school, and then that's when they drop out, so 12 or 13, and it's very normal to drop out at that age. And then there's just not very many options for those kids. So thankfully, Oasis is helping to prevent those dropout rates, and kids are staying in school longer and having better opportunities in the long run. Next slide. Some updates from the last year. In the video, you saw the new building in Las Aves and the program expansion. Before we were just borrowing a building. We were using a little church building before. We were actually using a plastic tent before that. And So this building was a huge improvement to our program, and it's not done all the way yet. We're still working on it, but that was what was shown in the video. And we have that building and program were also able to happen because of some new partnerships and sponsors that we have. There's a few local companies down there who are now sponsoring our program, which is huge to have local donors because we don't depend so much on money from the United States, which can go up and down, so you never really know how much is coming. And we have a few new board members that were here yesterday with us, and those board members are from our town. They're from Mexico, and so they bring a lot of local knowledge and expertise to the group and a new perspective, which is very valuable on a board. And we started a soccer team in a neighborhood league, which is very exciting for our kids because a lot of them have never played on a real soccer team. And the government put in an AstroTurf soccer field right across the street from our program. So we get to go over there, it's really nice, and play on their field. And we formed a real team, and they're in a league, and they have practices, and they have games, and they have uniforms now. And that's a really big opportunity for these kids to have something to do other than sit on the street doing nothing. And this year we also spent a lot more time working with our teachers. As you could see also in the video, some of our teachers are very young. Some are high school students. They're more like tutors and assistants. But we've really been pouring into them and taking them to trainings and trying to develop them as leaders and pour into them so that they can pour into the kids. And that's been a big part of our program this year. We've been teaching them about how to talk to the kids about drugs and alcohol, about addictions, about a lot of things that they're already experiencing in their family lives. So that's been a big part of this year. Next, that's a picture of our soccer team. So it's girls and boys. I think there's only one girl in the picture, but they play co-ed. And our first several games, we lost by 10 to 20 goals each game. They have now since won a game, so they're on the way up. They're gaining some confidence now that they've had a few games. They were very nervous at first, but this is their first time ever playing in a real team. And the school, that's also big because in the schools there, they don't have organized sports. The school there is just a concrete building with desks and whiteboards. They don't have gymnasiums, they don't have big kitchens, they don't have arts programs or theaters. The schools don't have any of that. So the schools that these kids go to are very minimal, and that's why it's such a big deal that Oasis provides these extra activities that everyone here in the United States already enjoys and has and kind of takes for granted. Next picture. This is our team in Las Aves. Almost all of these people are from Las Aves, which is really nice to have people in the local community helping their own community. That was the model we wanted to follow. We didn't want to send a bunch of strangers into this community and say, this is how you do things, this is what we're doing. So these people live in Las Aves, they know the kids already, they're connected with the kids' families, they can go visit each other in their homes, and that's really important and really beneficial for the kids. Next. The next two pictures those are our kids in Las Aves, so these kids have only really been in the program for about a year now. That's one group, and then that's the second group. There's about 60 total who are in the program in Las Aves. And these next pictures are from the construction process. So as you can see there's about half a building and some block walls that were going up, and that's a few weeks later, once the main structure was done and painted and some stairs put in, and that's a side angle of the building. It has 3 classrooms, bathrooms, an office, kitchen, and dining room. And some of our needs right now in Las Aves, because it's the newer program and it's not as developed yet, we don't have things there that we have at the other Oasis. So we rely a lot on the internet for the kids to do their homework, and we don't have internet there. It's been a challenge. The internet companies, there's only 2, and they just will tell you, our internet signal doesn't reach that far. So there's basically no option of getting internet until a company builds another antenna and the signal can reach that far, which is weird because here you would never hear something like that. And laptops, books, we need a playground. These are things that if you want to gather and send over to James's house, that would be very appreciated. His garage has become a storage shed for Oasis. school supplies, some landscaping, water storage, projector speakers. These are all things that make our program easier to run and that make us more effective. And some of these things are what the youth are going to be working on in January when they come down. So James and some people from the Hilltop Church are planning a trip in January, and they will most likely be working on some of these projects in Las Aves. Now, I wanted to spend a minute telling about Miguel because this church also has a connection to Miguel. This is Miguel. He has many roles at Oasis and wears many hats, but we used to have a problem with security on the property because of the neighborhood we're located in, where we were constantly getting broken into, constantly having things stolen, having vandalism, graffiti every day, and we couldn't invest in the building, we couldn't make it nicer, we couldn't keep nice things in it because it would all disappear. And I had a huge need for security, and Miguel was hired to be like a security guard, pretty much, a night watchman. He lives on the property now, and since then we haven't had a single problem. And he was hired by funds that this church provided. So what's really cool about Miguel is that he's also a youth minister. He went to a Bible school in Tijuana, studied for 2 years, and he works a lot with our youth and with the local church, so we have a connection there to the local Church of Christ that's on the next corner by Oasis. And he does a lot of events with the youth. He does Bible studies with them. He takes them on trips, youth conferences. He visits other churches with them. And having him around has made a huge difference with our program. And you can see in his 2 different roles. One, he's preaching, and then the next one, he's our chauffeur. He drives our van around, so when we have field trips, he's the driver and takes the kids on field trips. So on behalf of him, I wanted to also thank you because his position was paid for by you guys. And I'm very thankful for Miguel and the security he provides at our program and at our building. So just thank you for that. This is our contact information if people want to keep in touch with what we're doing besides just listening to James ramble on about it. You can follow us on Facebook or email us or look on our website. We have needs lists there. We have videos you can watch. I send out newsletters every now and then. And any questions you have or any way that you specifically want to get involved, you can contact me directly or you can go through James. He's a good middle person. So that's really all. I just really wanted to thank you. And I will be here in January, the beginning of January, for maybe up to 2 months, I don't know, to have a baby. So I will be staying with James and Carol. Maybe Carol might deliver my baby. I don't know. We'll see. But that's the exciting news, really. This is David, in case no one saw him. And that's all. Thank you.